Hey, well, it looks like I'll be making another video where I walk around the room and talk. I think it helps me think better and articulate what I have to say. Um, Plus, I get a little exercise and burn a bunch of fat off, because I'm so fat. One of the things that I want to talk about today is this big, social media fad of the week, and it's Kony 2012. And it was posted less than a week ago and has gotten like close to 80 million hits on YouTube, spread everywhere on Twitter and Facebook, blah, 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 the other sites. And, pretty much any 15-year-old with a laptop became an overnight social activist, just because they watched a 30-minute video and they're like, oh my gosh, look at this. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. We got to have military intervention in Uganda. And because that's basically all the video is about. Now, I'm not trying to marginalize problems like this. I'm not trying to say, well, child soldiers isn't a big deal, because obviously it is. I'm not. But there's just a lot of things that have come out in the aftermath of this, this popular documentary on YouTube, and that is what to believe exactly. There are some contradicting reports from various people saying, well, Kony has been inactive for the past few years. Some people say he's gone elsewhere. Some people even claim he's dead. I mean, it's just a bunch of other contradicting reports out there about this. And, I don't know exactly what to specifically believe on this issue. All I know is that you watch this documentary for 30 minutes. They talk about, here's what's going on in Uganda. It's very sad. It's meant to be a very emotional video. It is sad. I'm not saying, child soldiers isn't a big deal. It is. It's a humanitarian crisis. However, toward the end, as I'm watching it, I'm thinking, okay, I'm looking at the problem, but what's the solution that they're going to be advocating here? So you get towards the end of the video, they say, okay, now here are the culture makers and the policy makers that you can influence, and you can spread this video message around and get their attention and then get them to take action. They list all these stupid celebrities, and then they go to the policy makers. Here we got to influence people like Bill Clinton and Condi Rice and John Kerry, John Boehner, just amongst a few, in order to do what we need to do. And I'm thinking, okay, well, what's that mean? Basically what that means is, hey, let's fight a good war for a change. Let's go for a popular war. Let's get some people involved in Uganda and get this Kony guy. I'm not saying Kony's not a bad person, obviously. He sounds like a piece of crap. But at the same time, there's a lot of contradictions out there saying, hey, he's been inactive, or it's not as prevalent of an issue as it once was years ago. I'm just very curious as to what this is all supposed to mean. I don't believe everything at face value. Just because I watch some 30-minute documentary doesn't mean I'm suddenly going to be like, oh my gosh, it's time to go to a good war for a change. It's time to get behind a war that Democrats and Republicans alike can get behind. See, that's the problem I have with stuff like this, is instantly it sounds very suspicious, and I'm not exactly buying it 100%. I'm thinking, okay, that sounds like a bad issue. However, I need to see some more facts on the table before I could ever agree to something like that, something as serious as military intervention. And all I know is that late last year, Obama sent 100 military advisors to Uganda. And here's to, I guess, fight the LRA, who still have a presence in that country. But here's the thing. The other end result that they were advocating was, basically helping out the Ugandan government and fighting these people. Well, how do I know the Ugandan government is any better than Joseph Kony and the LRA? How do we know this? I mean, you go to, look at any of these African nations, in the third world, they're all corrupt. The militaries are corrupt. The top leaders and the presidents are corrupt. So why would helping them and aiding them be any better for the general population in those countries? I mean, that's so stupid. That's like saying, hey, let's go to Sudan and, help out the president of Sudan. Obviously, we wouldn't do that, but I mean, it's just like that, because the guy from Uganda probably is not any better than people who are members of the LRA. So we've got to be very cautious about stuff like this that tends to affect people emotionally, and it tends to hold back some logic. It tends to hold back any further questions because they don't want to be seen as heartless if they ask any questions regarding a very popular 30-minute documentary that's on the internet. Because if you question it, you're seen as heartless, and you want to ask questions about this. You want to get the full picture. You want to hear other perspectives and get all the facts on the table. You don't have a heart. See, that stuff like this I have a problem with, because it's all meant to be emotional and basically put blinders over you so you don't have to. So that therefore it prevents you from asking any further questions, because you think all of the questions were answered in the video, so therefore I'm just not going to get involved. I don't want to question it. I'm just going to go by it. I'm going to say Kony 2012. I'm going to put up posters on April whatever and get the message out. Yeah, but the funny thing is you can post all this. So, that's the other thing about this whole video. Yeah, you can go in your town and post, Kony 2012, try to get the message out about a war criminal in your town and advocate military intervention, while at the same time you would be advocating for other people to do the difficult work. You wouldn't be the one going to Uganda with an AK-47 or whatever. So I think that's the whole point of this video, is just to talk about how this is really basically made this a whole emotional movement, but there's a lack of thinking involved, a lack of logic, and that's really concerning when somebody, the people who are the makers of this documentary are encouraging further military intervention in the world. You just can't say, oh yeah, let's go along with it because hit me in the heart. Can't let that happen to you. You cannot let emotions cloud your judgment. All right, thank you for watching. Leave me your thoughts on this Kony 2012 video / internet fad. I want to hear your thoughts. Thank you.